Okay, tonight for dinner we're going to be making French onion gnocchi, which is just one of the many things I like to use my caramelized onions for. Here is my double serving of caramelized onions that I'm going to finish now in some butter. And while that is cooking up, these were a little underdone, so these will probably take a good 10-15 minutes. I'll prep the rest of my ingredients and come back. And basically these were just, that was some about a tablespoon of melted butter, about 2 cups of caramelized onions, and I will let these go. All right, well, it's been about 10 minutes and I'm coming to check on my onions, and they are looking just really delicious and yummy and caramelized. And you can see I've got a lot of caramelization on the pan, so I'm going to deglaze that a little bit with it's just some water, cook that down, and then pull these off the heat so I can move on with the same pan for my next portion. So you can see as that kind of boils up and I scrape the pan, all that caramelization comes right into the water, comes off the bottom of the pan very easy, and makes just a really yummy glaze. And I'm gonna heat up just a second so I can get that all up and evaporate it off. Throw that in a bowl to the side. Okay, in that same pan, you can see I didn't even clean it. I'm gonna melt another tablespoon of butter. And it's okay if it has some of the onion juiciness here, because that'll just help flavor the beef. We're gonna brown the beef in the butter. I have the medium-low heat for the onions. I'm going to take it up to a medium-high and give that some pepper and a healthy dose of salt, and I will brown this beef. This is a pretty lean beef I got. I think it's a 93.7. If you get a higher fat content, you'll probably need to drain some of the extra fat off of your beef. That's fine. Don't send that down the sink. Make sure that goes in a jar. My husband, the water sewer connection guy, will tell you it might seem like it's going away. It's not. So that has to go in the garbage if you do drain it. But if it's lower fat, 90 or above, you can just leave that fat right in here, because that'll help just kind of make it yummy. So after this browns, we'll start adding the other ingredients. This should take me, I don't know, like 5 minutes. Okay, so the beef is fairly well browned. I'm now going to add my seasoning. That's 4 cloves of garlic that I pressed earlier, a teaspoon of basil, and a teaspoon of dried thyme leaves. And I cleared out a little space in the center to get that stuff kind of just in the middle, and now I'll incorporate it through as it cooks. I always feel that you can smell garlic when it's done. It usually is about 30 seconds to a minute. If you're not as confident, give it a minute. And then once that's in there, notice my beef wasn't totally cooked. There's little bits of pink. We'll have plenty of time to cook it through in the rest of this. So I'm not overly concerned that that's undercooked, because it's gonna be together. About now, I am gonna broil this later. So about now I'm gonna turn on my broiler so it has some time to get warmed up. And now I'm going to incorporate my flour. I measured out 2 tablespoons of flour in here. Throw that in, and I'm going to incorporate that until it's disappeared. Now I go back and forth on this recipe to cook the gnocchi first or not. Ultimately, my laziness wins out, and so I don't pre-cook the gnocchi. I just throw it in because we're going to boil it up in a minute. So just put the gnocchi in. I add my 1 cup of water and my Knorr beef stock concentrate. I'm going to say about 2 tablespoons. I'll measure it out in my spoon here. That's good. You could always use actual beef stock if you had it, but I just keep this on hand as my favorite shortcut. All right, so I'm going to get those gnocchi kind of mixed in, get them in the water, trying to bring that water up to a boil. Separate these guys. I'm going to put my lid on my pot and let that... Okay, we got a bit of a boil going. I'm going to add some salt, some pepper, you know, our good friends. And in this case, I feel like this recipe always needs a little sugar to bring out some of the flavors. So I'm adding about a teaspoon of sugar into it. I use, just regular table sugar in this particular one. And bring that lid on and put a timer. Well, I'm just gonna look at the clock and let this go for 4 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 4 minutes. Actually, it's been exactly 4 minutes. I'm coming back in here. I'm gonna take a look at this. Oh, it looks good. If it was not still liquidy, I would add some more water at this point, but there's still plenty of liquid in here for the sauce. So we're good. So I'm just gonna turn off the heat right now because it's still going good. I'm gonna throw the onions back in and mix those in. And then I'm gonna add in, gently fold in the onions. We will add some creaminess to this. So I've got 2 tablespoons of sour cream, tablespoon of butter, and I'm gonna just mix that in to turn that sauce into something just rich and creamy and delicious. Now this is my oven safe skillet, saute pan, whatever you want to call that. The reason is I am going to throw this in and broil it. If you are daring, you can broil too. If you're not, you can just, at this point, when it's all incorporated, and you do your cheese, just put your lid back on it and just let it sit for a few minutes till the cheese all melts and you just have a yummy melty cheese. But I am, you know, all for adventure. And so I am very willing to try my broiler and see how that will go. All right, that looks good. My butter's almost melted. Come on, butter. All right. Now how I would make it French oniony? Well, we've got our caramelized onions in there, our beef-based broth that we made a little extra creamy because that's delicious. And now we will top it. You can use Swiss cheese. My husband does not like Swiss cheese or Gruyere. So we just use mozzarella. And I'm gonna just use a full pack. Could I have shredded my own cheese? Sure. But I have to, you know, fight my battles and where they should be fought. So I'm gonna go, got this nice spread out all over the top, and now I'm gonna put this in the broiler. Okay, well, I just pulled my French onion gnocchi out of the broiler. As you can see, the broiler gives it this nice browning on the top, makes it look nice and crispy. But you know, this melted area over here that didn't, that's just as tasty looking and will make a delicious meal as well. Enjoy.